Welcome back to another Mommy and Me Monday. If you are new here, I am Brii Renee, straight from the A.
And I'm the original Miss Renee, straight from the A.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's been tuned in that never misses a Mommy and Me Monday. Everybody that likes, comments, subscribe, shares our content with other people, whether it's reposting it on social media or sending the full video to your family, your mom, your sister, your cousin, grandma, everybody can watch these episodes. So we encourage y'all to continue to spread the love and spread the content.
Absolutely.
You look cute. I like that shirt.
Thank you. Like your dress.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. Anyways, somebody asked me we always encourage y'all to give us topics or, to write in and ask us questions and things like that so we can address them on our podcast. And somebody asked today, like, how do you deal, well, not today. Today we're going to talk about something somebody asked. They were like, they want to know, how do you deal with that transition from like preteen to teenager? Like where it gets really difficult.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Like what was that like for me? I don't feel like I was that bad.
You don't feel like you were that bad. You were horrible.
I mean, what was I doing that was so bad?
You got to understand that transitioning period. I remember often telling you and your sister, I love you because you're my children, but I don't like the person you are. You had your own mind. No matter what I told you, you were either going to challenge it or you were going to disagree with it, and it was always going to be a debate about it. And parents don't like having to debate every little thing with their children. Some things you take because the authority tells you that's what we're going to do, that's how it's going to be done, and you accept it and you move on. But you in that transitional period, not only were you talking back or thought you knew more than I knew, you were growing to become the woman that you are now, but you thought that you knew every damn thing. You thought you knew most children think they know what's best for them at that stage in their lives, and they don't. They really don't. Because like I would tell you oftentimes, the world would chew you up and spit you out at that point in your life where you were. You thought you knew everything. You thought your advice was better than my advice. You thought that you had enough sense to make all of the decisions for you. And you didn't. You didn't know. You were green. But you just did not want to accept the authority. And that's that growing pain. That's that transition where kids, we're trying to teach you valuable life lessons. We're trying to show you in a way that is going to be less impactful to you, less harmful to you. We're trying to give you some very, very basic foundations, trying to save you from yourselves, and y'all are constantly fighting back. That was very difficult. I didn't like you from the time you were probably 12, 13, up until you were past puberty. I began to like you again probably somewhere in the realm about maybe 17, when you were getting ready to graduate from high school. I didn't like you then.
What make you think I liked you?
I mean, we were even. So what? You didn't like me. We didn't like each other. But I mean, when I say that, I say I didn't like you, your mindset, that your behavior. But I loved you because you're my child. That motherly love never, ever, ever left. But I didn't like the person that you were trying to be. And most teenagers think they know more than they know, and they don't. They just won't adhere to the authority.
Do you think you were like that as a teenager?
No.
I beg to differ.
No,
I'm sure your mother would say differently.
I didn't give my mama half the grief you gave me. No.
Girl.
No, I didn't.
You were sitting here telling a story.
No, I didn't.
You got kept back.
That was in the 8th grade, but that had nothing to do with the authority my mama was giving.
That's 13 years old.
That wasn't quite 13.
8th grade is 13. Yes, you turned 14 in the 9th grade, babe.
No, listen.
It's 8th grade is 13.
Okay, but let's set the record straight. I got kept back because I was hanging out with girls that I shouldn't have been hanging out with.
Because you thought you knew what was best for you, that your mama told you wasn't your little friends, but you thought you knew what was best for you. And so much so that you got yourself kept back. Now, I didn't make any decisions that was that bad.
So what I did,
I didn't do anything that altered my life.
but I corrected it. It did. It was a temporary alteration, but I corrected it. I graduated on time. Yeah, I had to hit that bump in the road to say, oh shit, my mama was right. Oh shit, I done made a mistake.
I didn't hit no bumps in the road, so I guess I was better off than you thought I was.
No,
I guess I knew more.
Well, you hit bumps in the road.
Then you gave me credit.
You hit bumps in the road. They were just different bumps. No, you didn't get kept back. You know, and I'm not ashamed of it. Getting kept back, that was one of my life-altering experiences. You know, my mama told me, them little fast-ass girls ain't no friend of yours. They're no good for you. They're not, you know, and I didn't listen. I thought I knew more at that point in my life.
You thought.
Yeah, and I didn't.
And
when it took me to get into a fight with one of them, which opened my eyes that the one I thought that should have come to my rescue didn't come to my rescue. As a result, I decided to end the friendship. And by the time I ended the friendship, I had screwed up and screwed off with them so much to where I didn't have enough credit hours to make it to the next grade. So I took my ass back to the school where my mama allowed what I kicked and screamed about going in the first place with my brother. Mama said, you going to Price? And I kicked and screamed, no, I don't want to go to Price. I want to go to Carver with my friends, and we're going to And that lesson, Mama allowed me to live that lesson, and I realized that Mama was right. And from that point on, I didn't kick back no more. From that point on, I realized Mama know what the hell she's talking about. You know, but you couldn't have told me that then, because and probably that was her moment that I experienced with you, and like most people do with their daughters, you don't like them. That was probably that time that she felt that way about me. I don't like her, but I got to let her hit that road, hit that brick wall to make her realize that I know what the hell I'm talking about. Maybe that was that moment with her. But from that moment on, from the 8th grade on, I realized I ain't playing with that fire no more. I'm going to listen.
Girls, and some just always listen.
No, some of us got it a little sooner than others. Some of
get it that soon.
I tell you, yes, hell, I did. Because I got my act together. I graduated with more credit hours than what I actually needed. I took my act.
You got your act together in that realm.
I got my act.
You were still doing your own other stuff.
What I mean, doing other stuff like what? The only thing I ever did was worked.
Girl, no, you didn't. You went out to clubs. You was hanging out.
I went to clubs when I was 17, 18, 19 years old. I mean, I was grown then. I was hanging out with my friends, yeah. I mean, but what other?
But that's what I'm saying. If that's the case, then I didn't do nothing wrong because I ain't never had no trouble with school.
No, that's.
So what you didn't like me for then?
That mouth, that rebelliousness, you know, that constant battle. That was never a constant battle. My mama said, go upstairs, get your room clean. Okay, I got my ass up when I got my room clean.
I don't believe that.
Oh, ask her. She said, go upstairs, wash.
Mama never liked cleaning.
Mama said, wash the dishes. I went and got my ass up and washed the dishes because I knew that if I sat there long enough and attempted not to do it or allow her to have to tell me more than once or twice, then next thing I know, something's going to come flying at me, and I didn't want that.
You never liked to do it.
Well, maybe I didn't, but I did it.
No, you didn't.
Actually, I tell you what, pick up the phone right now and call my mom and ask her that whether or not we had to go through those rebellious moments. We didn't. I didn't stand there and mouth back. I didn't challenge her.
I want you quiet. I want to hear her without you coaching her. If she answer.
Hello.
Hey, Granny.
Hey.
What you
Mama,
doing?
we filming.
What you doing?
I'm just eating the salad. What's going on?
I just got a quick question. I'm gonna let you go back to your salad. Did my mama clean up when she was?
But that wasn't the question.
Did my mama clean up?
That wasn't the question.
Let me ask her. I got a series of questions. Did my mama clean up? Tell the truth, Granny.
No, she put that on other folks.
She put it off on other folks. Thank you. So when you told her to get up, go clean up her room, go wash the dishes, did she immediately jump for joy and go do it?
Did she jump?
Where did you have to threaten her a couple times to do it?
Hell, she got it. She get laid and dared and do it.
She gets somebody else to do it.
But it got done.
No, that's not what she said. Try to make it seem like I was so bad, and I just was so terrible. And she listened to everything you said. And every time you said do something, she did it right away.
No, I did. What I said, Mama, was there was a time in my life that I was rebellious, and I'm sure that was a point that you probably didn't like me. Like I told her, there were times in her life from about 13 till about 16, 17. I loved her, but I didn't like the person she was at the moment. Then she tried to say, well, I'm sure you did everything your mama said do. I said,
you didn't do everything your mama said do, and that's just being a child. And you said, yes, my mama told me to get up and clean up. I went and clean up. And now I know my mama enough to know that she wasn't getting up nowhere to go clean up.
yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Your mama just said you didn't do it.
What my mama said was
you got somebody else to do it.
But it got done.
Well, Granny,
I may have been
last question, Granny. Did she have a smart mouth? Did you have to threaten her a few times with her lip?
Well, no, not really. She would always, she'd always try to somebody get her way out of it. I don't know. Not really.
Okay.
So I didn't have a smart mouth coming.
But you was sneaky.
She did. She would always was true. And she would always tell me, Mama, I ain't no fool. Yeah, I know what to do. I know what to do. That's what to do. I said, okay,
Girl, so you let her do what she want to do just because she talked you in a nice way. That's what it was. She sweet talked you.
No, I always rationalized with my mama.
But you are a child. What make you think you could rationalize with the adult?
I did.
Okay. Well, you was...
She did now.
Well, Granny, you was soft on her, okay? You should have whooped her a bunch more times.
No, I didn't have to get a whooping a lot. Actually, tell Mama didn't have to whip me a lot.
No, sir, I didn't whoop all a lot. I didn't.
And she didn't have to threaten to whip me a lot. Like I used to have to threaten to whip you.
Yep. I didn't have to whoop her, no.
Okay, Granny.
She always know how to. Like she said, she know how to compromise. You know, tell me, but I tell her something. She tell me what you want. Tell me fine, tell me well or wrong. You know, so whatever.
Okay.
Mm. What y'all doing, honey?
We filming. I just needed to know. Because she be trying to act like she's so innocent.
I wasn't trying to act like I was so innocent. I just told you the truth. Now, you heard it from the horse's mouth. My mama did not have to whoop my ass. My mama did not have to threaten to whoop my ass like I used to have to threaten you. So, no, so there wasn't a period in my life where my mama probably disliked me as a child. But there was a period in your life that I disliked you.
All right.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. You love them, but you don't. It makes you like them.
Okay. Well, she said the same thing. All right. Thank you, Granny. I'll call you later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
I'm sorry you didn't get the answers you were hoping for.
No, I got the answers. The answers were that you didn't clean up either.
That's not necessarily the only thing that you were asking about, whether I cleaned up. But she did say I would get my sister to do it or my brother to do it. If she said,
well, I didn't have nobody to get to do it.
Then you should have done it.
Girl.
But when it came to me, if I didn't want to do it, I get them to do it, but at least it got done.
Okay. Well, moving on. I feel like all children are going to go through that phase as a preteen to a teenager where they are difficult, they
smart mouth, talk back, and just yeah, they are.
So as a parent, how do you get through it?
You pray, you pick up the phone, you call your mama, you remember that this too shall pass. Trouble don't last always. You just have to, remember that you are the parent and don't give in. Don't give in. Stand your grounds. Mean what you say. Just remember the trouble don't last always. And the day will come. The day is going to come where you're going to get your joy back.
Oh, that's what we do, suck the joy out of everything.
Yeah. The day's going to come where you're going to get your joy back.
Girl, y'all so dramatic.
No, it's not. That's just being real. That's just being honest. I tell anybody, children are fucking overrated.
Why you just can't remember that you once was a child too and you did the same stuff?
Yeah, but our stuff back then compared to the stuff y'all do now,
It's always
just,
gonna be different because it's new
the
generation.
stuff that we were doing back. The most we did back then was,
Smoke cigarettes.
yeah.
I mean, only create lung
No,
cancer.
we didn't necessarily smoke cigarettes. We used to roll brown paper bags and call ourselves Puffin' Nose.
Cause that's so smart and better.
Well, that wasn't smart or better. It was dumb. We did it. That was our mischievousness. Yes, we did. But y'all, now y'all want to, like your sister, want to steal the car. Then you want to, take your little sister on a joyride someplace you got no business going. Or go sneak over to some boy's house or something. It's just new. It's a lot. It's a lot.
So you gotta evolve with the times.
Yeah, parents do have to evolve with the times. You do, and unfortunately, the times are difficult. But do we like it? No. Is it fun going through it? No. We cry a lot as parents. We pray a lot. And if you ain't close to Jesus, honey, have a teenager, you're gonna truly have to get close to Jesus. You're going to get close to Jesus. If you're not,
I feel like was the worst thing I ever did. Cause I ain't get in trouble at school.
stand away from this little nappy-headed boy
Oh yeah.
that I thought that was just bad news for you, and you just couldn't see it.
I couldn't until I saw it.
Yep.
But you pulling me away ain't make me see it. I think some of the shit you gotta just let your kids have and let it do. And I think fighting and pushing them away from it is making them more rebellious. It make it more fun. It not fun, but it's like it make them interested more because you keep everybody wants something they can have.
Parents are not built to just sit back and watch their kids crash and burn. That's just not a parent. No parent wants to do that. Okay, you fucked up, but I showed you to stop and okay, now I just sit back and let you crash and burn. We're not built that way. As a parent, you want to protect that child. You see that child is going to crash and burn. You're trying everything in your power to get that little knucklehead to understand what it is you're saying. Hey, you're about to crash and burn. Hold on, stop, come back off that cliff before you fall. That's what we are. That's who we are as parents. But then I know the pain and the heartache you're going to go through when you crash and burn or when you fall off that cliff. Then I got to go pick up the goddamn pieces.
Why do you think you could get through to the kids? I understand that you don't want us to crash and burn, but what can you do now, hindsight? What do you think you could have did differently to get through to me?
I don't know.
Maybe be my little friend. Maybe what?
I couldn't be your little friend.
If you came at me as a friend and not as authority, it's like I'm not defying authority. I'm listening to my friend who care about me.
I couldn't come at you as a friend. I could never come at you because I think coming at you as a friend at that age, it would have been worse. I think coming at you as a friend would have been worse because you wouldn't respect everything that I was telling you at that point. You would have thought that, it's okay. I got some ulterior motive. I'm not telling you. As a parent, see, parents don't have motive.
No, that's how you think when your parent is telling you that. But if you came to me as a friend, I would have felt like my friend don't want me to be hurt. My friend is telling me this because they care about me. Not because they just want to tell me what to do.
As a preteen, you would never, ever, ever see me as a friend. You could never accept me as a friend and accept and receive anything I told you at that point as a friend. So there was you say perhaps that could have been the way. That could have never been. You would have never, we couldn't have never had a friendship as a preteen because a lot of shit that you may have said, done, or were trying to experience would not have been acceptable in my eye.
I guess. I think it could have happened.
No, that's a fantasy.
But we talked a little bit about like your struggles with education and everything like that. Is that why you always preach education and shoved it down my throat? Because you knew you had messed up?
I didn't mess up in terms of education. I got killed.
Why was that such a big thing?
Because I know the world. I was very clear about the world we live in. Coming up the way that I was raised, I knew that with an education, at least you had an opportunity. Not that you were going to be guaranteed anything, but at least this racist, cruel world we live in, at least with an education, you would have to be, you had an opportunity possibly to get in the door.
Mm.
But without it, because we live in such a racist, cruel world, you wouldn't have an opportunity. The doors could automatically be shut and say, hey, I'm sorry, you don't qualify because of this. I never wanted to be a lack of education to hold you back. Whether you did anything with it or not, I never wanted a lack of education. And if you chose, like your sister chose, she says, hey, look, I don't want to go that route. I had to respect that. Although the route was laid out for her, the path was there, the opportunity for her to go to school was there. She said, I don't want to do it that way, Mama. I said, okay, I backed off and I respect that.
Did you back off or did you fight back for a minute?
I fought back for a minute.
And then what was the moment where you clicked and was like, all right, let me just let her live her life?
I had laid the rules down. Look, hey, I'm prepared to do as a parent should. I didn't save up a lot for your education. I didn't, I don't have the money, but I'm prepared to borrow it. I'm prepared to do whatever I can do to help you get to that level and so that you can be successful. But we got to understand something. You know that I'm willing to go into debt for anything that you need or desire. But we have to be on the same page. It cannot be a situation where you're just going to piss it out the window. If I'm willing to go into debt and to do this and put you through school, you got to be committed to going to school and doing what you need to do.
And she said, don't sign me up for that shit.
Yeah. And she said, hey, Mama, thanks, but no thanks. I don't want to go that route. I'd rather go work. And I said, hey, that's fine. But you understand now, I'm taking on this responsibility as a parent. But later on in life, if you decide to go back and get that education, it's going to you're going to figure out you're going to pay for it. Same thing with you. When it came to going to school education, I was prepared to make those sacrifices and do whatever needed to be done to get you that education. But had you come back and say, hey, look, Mama, I don't think I'm going to school. I decided I don't want to go to school. Okay, fine. It's on you at that point. And you understand that if you make that decision later in life, that's not my responsibility. You're a grown-ass woman, you figure it out. So I think as a parent, we give you, we do what we figure we're capable and able to do for our children to put you in a better situation, give you an upper hand in life, so that you can go ahead and, and be successful. Now, unfortunate, sometimes it don't work out, Some kids, parents put them through school or give them an opportunity to go to school or lay the law down that education is important, and they still start and screw off and, don't take it serious. But luckily, you did. You took it serious. And that was the only reason I insisted on an education, because I know that with an education, at least you can at least have a seat at the table. Without an education, they wouldn't even open the door for you.
I don't think that's true because ain't nobody asked to see not one diploma.
Maybe they don't actually see the one diploma because you have taken yourself out of the realm of traditional work environment. But in the traditional work environment, if you were seeking,
even when I got a 9 to 5, they didn't ask to see my diploma.
They didn't actually see the diploma, but get that job was a requirement that you came out of school. You had a degree.
But who's checking?
It don't matter. But why lie? I mean, if you had to produce it, you could produce it. Okay? Whether they wanted to see it or not, the fact of the matter is you had it. And that got you in the door. So that was my thinking. See, all of this new age social media and learning how to make money, all that's new to me. My era, you went to school, you got an education, that education got you into certain doors, certain jobs, and you took it from there. This entrepreneurial stuff is all new.
Yeah, back in the olden age.
Whatever you call it. It is what it is. And that's why I think, people don't stress education anymore. I guess maybe, a lot of people have figured out how to, make a living and a life without an education. I just think that an education can't hurt.
Well, you didn't go to college.
I did go to college.
I mean, to get a law degree.
I went to college. You got to go to college before you can get a law degree, Dodo.
I mean, I thought you was a police officer when you got out of time.
I went to school. I graduated from Brii University. Had to go to college in order to get the law. You can't get a law school without a college education, college degree. That degree's sitting up on the wall.
Know everything with your degree and shit. I won't need. No, just.
Yeah.
But do you feel like your college degree was necessary?
Yeah, in order to get to where I wanted to go. Yes.
Well, to be a lawyer, of course. But if you're not being a doctor, a lawyer,
Some kids go to college just to learn how to survive.
I feel like that's all I learned in college was life skills.
Okay. Then, hey, it served its purpose.
They didn't teach me nothing in there that I use today other than networking. And I don't think they taught me that. I think I learned that from life.
Okay. Well, it taught you life skills. Those life skills are survivor skills, as I call them.
And it taught me how to complete what you start.
Mm-hmm. And that's probably one of the most valuable experiences you could have.
Complete what you start, and that you could do whatever you want to do after you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So, like, I can go out to school. I can go, like, out to parties. I could do whatever I want to do after I do what I'm supposed to do, like a paper. Or if you want to go out all night and party, you could do that, but you're going to have to get up for that 8 a.m. class. It taught me how to do both.
Taught you discipline.
Okay, maybe it was discipline.
Mm-hmm. Discipline.
I'm still lacking in some discipline.
Mm-hmm. It's an ever-learning skill. So as a parent of a preteen, I would tell anybody that you'll be able to sit down with them someday and laugh about those moments, those painful moments.
What's a moment that you feel like we could laugh about now?
You sneaking out the house.
You didn't even know I snuck out the house.
I mean, when I did find out about it, we can laugh about it now.
I used to sneak out the house through the garage, through the basement.
Yeah. But had I known it then, I don't know if you would be sitting here, you were able to be sitting here on this couch and talking about it. Because you may not have survived it. But now it's like, okay. But the joy of all of that is,
I got away, didn't I?
yeah, one day.
I did it more than once.
Okay, but one day.
One day what?
One day. You're going to have a little boy, a little girl that's going to do some sneaky shit that you're not going to know anything about.
What I don't know won't hurt me.
Okay. All right. All right. Yep, one day. That's the joy of being older, mature, and having grandchildren. Because now I can shield them from your wrath or your sister's wrath.
Why do you want to shield them? We weren't shielded. Nobody shielded us. Let their ass have it. The same way my grandma didn't step in and let nobody else have it. I remember one time you whooped me so long, my grandma said, okay, enough is enough. I'm tired of hearing her cry. I don't want to hear it no more.
That was probably what, after 1 or 2, 3, 4 licks, you know? Because you thought, folks thought that, oh, Sabrina wasn't supposed to get ass whoopings. And I was dead set against that idea.
I wasn't supposed to get them.
Yes, you were.
Why?
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Oh my God, here we go. But I wasn't that bad.
You were bad enough. And every kid think that they shit didn't stink. Mm-hmm. Every kid think that they wasn't bad enough. They wasn't bad, but they were bad enough.
So are there any other things that you feel like we could laugh about now?
Other than sneaking out the house with the boys. As I gotten older, all of that mouth of yours stopped. Don't bother me as much. I learned to kind of tune some of it out as I got older, and I realized that you were just a spoiled little brat, part of which was my fault. Some of it wasn't.
I don't get how I was spoiled, but that's a whole nother
You were.
rabbit hole.
Because you always thought it was supposed to be your way. No matter what the situation was, you always thought it was supposed to be your way. So what are some of the things you think we can laugh about now? Some of the things that you remember?
I think that I can honestly laugh about that ass whooping that I was talking about with Granny when she was like, I don't want to hear her anymore. Like, I really got, the whooping was, do you remember that whooping?
Vaguely.
The worst whooping you gave me, it was when you found out I had lost my virginity.
Oh.
And you called me. It started from me not cleaning my room. It started from me not cleaning my room, and you were like, okay, you're not going to church with me. You're going to stay here and clean this room up. You're not leaving. give me your cell phone. And you took my cell phone and you went to church. And then
I went through that cell phone and saw some of those messages.
And I was talking about it. And then you called me while she was still on church ground, and I answered the house phone, and she said, "So you fucking now?" I was like, "What?" She said, "You heard me. You fucking now?"
I remember that.
I said, "Ain't you at church? How you cursing like this at the church?" She was like, "Don't worry about it. I'm on my way home. When I get there, I'm gonna beat your ass. Okay? Don't even think about leaving. I'm on the way." And you came and whooped my ass. That was the worst ass whooping I ever got.
I remember that. Because you had just thrown away everything that I told you, everything that I taught you. Then to this knucklehead little boy. And I was so angry. I was so angry at the point to where I really thought about having him locked up. I really was. But then I gave it some thought. I really thought about, I had to consider him, his family, you, what damage it was going to do to everybody, you know. But then I still had to lay the law down. And that was a fucked up, horrible feeling. That was a really painful time.
Why? What was the painful part?
Because you wasn't ready to lose your virginity, in my opinion. Although you were, 15, 16. And to him, it wasn't, to me, I thought it was manipulative. I thought he was manipulating you. I thought no matter what I said to you about him and getting away from him, the more I preached, the more I fought with you, being with him, you ran to him. It was hard. I think you probably were more 16, 17, because I think even when you graduated, you were still full. And I was just so outdone. I don't remember whether you were 16 or 17, but I was just so overwhelmed. I just thought that was horrible. You were being inconsiderate.
I was being inconsiderate with my own body.
Because at that point, it wasn't your damn body, it was mine too. You wasn't grown at that point, You wasn't supposed to be making those kind of decisions. And then we had to have the conversation about the birth control and all of that stuff. I mean, we did, but still, that was painful. No parent, no mama wants to find out their kid has lost their virginity, and when they're under 18. I don't know why it has to be under 18, but nobody wants to know that their kid is.
How old was you when you lost yours?
Don't worry about how old I was.
Exactly. You see how fast the tables turn? So what make you think it's any different?
It's different when you become a parent. Your whole fucking mindset, your whole thought pattern changes. What you did, you don't want your kids to do. You want your kids to live a better life, to do better, and to
I'm just as dumb as you.
No, you don't have to be as dumb as I am. That's the reason why the mistakes I made, I don't want my kids to make them. But unfortunately, the truth of the matter is, parents, all the dumb shit you've done, your kids are going to do it too.
Yeah.
So no matter how much we try to shield our kids from them, they run to the dumbass mistake.
Well, stop personalizing it. You took it personal.
I did.
Why? What did you feel?
Because I was hurt.
But like what?
I was hurt.
Like what do you mean hurt?
I was hurt. I was torn. I was heartbroken. I was heartbroken. The fact that you lost your virginity, I was heartbroken. Every parent wants to live in this fantasy world where they think, oh, kids not going to lose their virginity until they're, out of college on the way to the chapel to get married. That's the fucking fantasy we live in. And that's not
make
cute.
It nowhere near the chapel.
No, we didn't. We didn't make it anywhere, but it was painful. I was heartbroken. I felt disgusted. It was like, damn it, no matter what I tell you, what I do, what I say, you still going to, you want to do this dumb shit. You want to do, he's not worth it. He wasn't worth it.
He wasn't worth it.
He wasn't worth it. I wanted you to, if you're going to experience that experience with someone that was worth it, who deserved you. He didn't deserve you. In my book, he was a piece of shit. I don't mean that he wasn't, he had so much shit going on in his life that you didn't need to be involved in that.
You're right.
You know, that was my feeling towards him. And you didn't see it. The more and more I preached it and taught it and said it, you didn't see it. And that was disgusting. That angered me. That frustrated me.
It's not your fault.
It's not my fault.
And I think all kids do it in their own time.
They do it. And there's nothing we can do to stop you from doing it.
And it's no reflection of you as a parent.
Yeah, and that's good to know, but still it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. You know, so I say to parents, know that it's coming. I don't know how we prepare them to not do it, not go through it. I don't think there's a way. I think it's going to happen, and we just have to brace ourselves as parents, not pull our hair out trying to figure it out. Let's just figure out how to move past it, make the best of the situation. And at the end of the day, we can't stop loving you. It wasn't that severe to where I'm just going to shut down, not love you, not feed you, put you in the room. And, in some countries, you would have been stoned.
Yeah, let you tell it.
Yeah, in some countries, you would have been beheaded. You would have been,
That's the solution.
No, I'm serious. I'm joking, but I'm serious. In some countries, had that been known, had you been damaged in their eyes, some people, some countries, they take that very, very seriously.
Well, good thing we live in the land of the free.
Yeah.
And the brave.
Yeah. Yep. So I just say that, it's difficult raising adolescents. It's painful. You go through, parents don't think anything's wrong with you.
I was going to say,
going through that time where you don't like your children. Even though you don't like them, you still have to love them and still have to guide them and teach them and protect them from themselves. But just know that feeling is normal.
Yeah.
Just know that you're not crazy for disliking your son or your daughter. And I've got friends now that tell me that they're going through it even rougher with their boys. Boys are walking around, think they got it all figured out, and land up having babies by girls, and then looking to the parents to take care of it. Oh, I got this one. Oh, this. I mean, some of the things I hear nowadays scare the hell out of me.
Aren't you glad you didn't have boys?
I'm glad I'm glad I didn't have boys, and I'm glad that I can't say that I don't have children in this era, because I have grandchildren, and I'm a very active part of their lives, but it's still scary.
Yeah.
It's scary as hell. Parents, the things that parents go through, man, it's scary. Raising a child. I think nowadays, because my patience is much, much, much shorter than they were, and I always encourage anybody, parents, people are going to have children, have them when you're young. Because by the time you get to getting over that 40, 45 mark, you ain't got no patience for the bullshit.
Damn.
Very little patience for the bullshit. And so, to give your kid a fighting chance, have them while they're young. Have them while you're young. Become a parent early, so you have the energy to put up with the bullshit, because the bullshit is coming. It's coming.
I don't have the energy now, babe.
And some people might say, well, my kid's a good kid. Well, I don't have those problems. My kid, okay, fine. You were the exception.
I'm gonna be like them, not my baby.
Oh no, please. My mama would tell you in a minute. I ain't gonna never stand up in front of you and tell you what my kid won't do. What they won't do when I'm there. But when I turn my back, ain't no telling what the hell my child will do. And that's the same attitude I've taken. Yeah, no, my kid ain't gonna dare cuss while I'm there. But let me turn my back and not be there. Ain't no telling what my kid would do. So, I've never been one of those parents. And any parent tell you, oh, not my kid, my child wouldn't do this, that's the parent that don't know their kid, and that's the parent that's lying through their teeth. They probably got the worst kid it is.
Well, parents out there, don't take it personal. Don't be upset when they do these things, whether it's in front of you or behind your back. It's not your fault. Everybody gonna make mistakes. Everybody gonna go through these growing pains. They no different from you and any other person that's grown up. It's literally called growing pains, because it's gonna happen to everybody that's growing.
And the pain is real. The pain is definitely real. But you know what? the pain doesn't last. It does go away.
Trouble don't last.
Trouble don't last always.
All good things must come to an end.
All good things come to an end.
Well, that's pretty much like this episode.
It has to come to an end.
It has to come to an end. Before we go to an end, you got any for the record?
For the record, that was probably that one and one other were probably the only choices in boyfriends that I think you made horrible choices. Other than that, I think you made.
Which is the other bad one?
You want me to call the name? I can't call the name.
Just say the time period.
Right out of high school.
In college.
Uh-huh.
My freshman year.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I had a thing.
Yeah. And so.
Through a phase.
Yeah. You went through a phase where you know, and I think I just couldn't understand it. It was like, you know, the more and more.
You stopped talking to me for that boyfriend.
Yeah.
But for like 6 months, you didn't talk to me.
Yeah. Because you were hell-bent on dealing with that, and I was hell-bent on not dealing with that. So you had to pick and choose, you know, what you wanted to do. And at some point you realized that mother knows best. And sometimes parents, you know, you've got to step back and let them make certain mistakes. You got to just shut down. Don't be afraid as a parent to just shut down, not deal with it. And if they feel that they know what's best, and you've gone through it, you've been through it, you beat your head up against the wall, you've tried to tell them, show them, guess what? Hands off. Since you know better, deal with it. And I guarantee you, when they fall on their face and they realize that you were right, they'll come back wagging their tails.
Okay, well, it's time for I Want to Know. And you know, I get to ask her whatever I want. She could ask me whatever she wants.
So I want to know, what was the biggest damn it mom right moment besides that little episode with losing your virginity to this knucklehead that wasn't worthy?
When did I realize you were right? Another moment when I realized you was right? I mean, I think it's other things that I realized you were right about outside of like guy choices. Like I definitely realized you was right about that first boyfriend in college. I realized that, you know, you were right about that as well. I realized you were right about financial literacy. Like, even though I didn't push you back on that, I realized, like, or being debt free. Going to college, you always used to be like, don't get no credit cards, don't get no debt, don't do this. And I used to be like, everybody else getting credit cards, everybody else getting debt, everybody else going shopping, everybody else can do what they want to do. But I never did it. But I realized once I got out of college and I was able to buy my first house, oh, okay, she was right. This is why you don't put yourself in unnecessary debt. That was one. I think, you were right about education. Like I don't think necessarily going to college, but just how serious you made me take it, or perfect attendance. Like you used to be like, oh no, I'm dying. You like die in school. I don't care. Like you going to school.
And then you used to say you would die when you were in high school, but when you were in elementary school, it was always, Mama, I think my leg is broke. Okay, it'll be all right by the time we get to school. That was always your thing. Your leg was broke. That's the reason why you couldn't go to school that day, but you went anyway.
And my leg was broke.
Yeah, you used to always say, Mama, we was trying to wake you up in the morning. My leg broke. Okay, your leg broke. That's fine. Get up. Go to school. And I was very serious about that. You always got to school on time. Your sister was always in school, on time. You went to, you got your educations. And, I was very serious about those things. I never took that, lightly. I just didn't. And I don't take it lightly with the grandkids, because I know that we live in a world that's cruel. I know that we live in a world that's not going to give you, like my mom used to tell me, this world is not going to give you a damn thing. Don't grow up in life expecting anything from anybody, because nobody owes you nothing. Nobody owes you anything. Anything in this life you get, you got to work hard for it. So getting an education for me meant that I had an opportunity. Wasn't no guarantees that even with an education, doors were going to be open. But damn it, at least they couldn't close them.
Yeah.
At least you could, when they called your name, they had to say, well, hey, she fits the bill. Now, we're going to, not give her an opportunity because she's black or she's too tall or we don't like her attitude. That's something different. I can't shield you from all of that. But what I could shield you from is making sure you understood that an education at least gets you a seat at the table. Back then. Nowadays, this world is so racist and so cruel, it's still no guarantee. But at least you will be an educated black woman that from there you can, maybe write your own ticket.
Mm.
I just wanted you to be able to have a seat at the table and be able to compete in this world. That's it. Because I know that the day is going to come when the good Lord's going to call me home. And my job as a parent is to make sure that I've equipped you with enough tools and survivor skills that you can make it and you can pass those things on down to your children and your children can survive. You take some of my teachings and teach those to your children. Your children can take those and teach them to their children. And so hopefully the world can become a better place in which you guys are living in.
Okay. Well, I want to know, was there ever times you later realized I was right? Come on, B. Come off your high horse.
Shit. I don't know. Can you think of anyone I said, well, you might be right?
You never said it. That's why I want to hear it.
I have to honestly say, nothing comes to mind right off the bat because I've always tried to be right in my teachings and never tell you things that were going to be wrong or tell you things that you had to question.
It wasn't, I didn't say what were you wrong about. I said what was I right about. So you might not have taught me it. It might not have been, it's just something I said or did and I was right in it. You might not have had no advice on it. You might not have knew nothing about it. You might not have.
I'm sure there are moments. I'm sure there's some things in life that you said, Mama, I told you such and such. Nothing significant comes to mind where it's like it had a significant, bearing on anything. I just think that I've listened to you and your path in terms of the career that you've chosen, and I've had to come back and say, okay, well, you were right about taking that choice or going down certain avenues and paths where I said, okay, well, maybe I was wrong about taking that stand on, pursuing that particular career. So I can say that perhaps that's a moment. But, I'm learning and I would tell any parent, don't be afraid to sit back and listen and learn from your children because you guys can teach us some things. This new millennial, this new age of social media and things and the way the world is evolving now, we can learn some things.
I can teach you a lot of things.
Yeah, you probably can. And I'm at a point now where I don't mind learning. I don't mind learning from you. But as a parent, I thought that I had the superior knowledge and that you needed to learn from me.
I think the first 10, 15 years of life maybe, but
Yeah.
by the end, your knowledge is dated.
Probably. But I think it was enough to get you to that.
Get you started.
To get the next 5 or 6 years from that point on, we both got to learn it together. It's a walk that we walk together. The first 15 years is a walk that you walk I've laid. That's a path that I laid down for you. I believe that in parenting, and then from the next 5 to 6 to 7 years, that walk we walk together.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, and then from that point on, you're walking on your own. Now I'm just sitting back and being that ear, that sounding board for you when you need it. I've got to let you at that point live your own life, walk your own walk, and just be here to help pick up the pieces from time to time.
Okay, well, good for you. But
because at the end of the day
is done.
The day is done. You're gonna always be my baby. You're gonna always be my little girl. And I'm going to always be there as a mama to help you make the best decisions that you can. Even when you have children. As a parent, I'm going to be there to try to help guide you and to keep you from pulling your hair out and to keep you from harming my grandchildren. You know, because the day's going to come.
All you care about is them grandkids.
Yeah, I hope I get some someday.
Anyways, thank y'all for watching another episode of Mommy and Me. Like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss a Mommy and Me Monday. Until next time. Oh yeah, don't forget to leave comments. Let us know what topics you want us to talk about. Any questions you got for us, anything y'all want to know, drop them below and we will get to them. Until next time, I'm Brii Renee.
And I am Miss Renee, the original Miss Renee, straight from the A.
Cut. And bye.
I love irritating you with that.